Hello everybody, welcome to my new Sunday market breakdown. We are on the DXY as normally. We are on the monthly chart, and what can we see? We can see that we have this bigger bullish M on the monthly. We have our first leg, second leg, third leg, fourth leg, the bullish M, for possibly making the fifth leg to the upside. So what I can see also is between all these blue candles here, we have one red candle between all the blue ones. This is working like a magnet mostly of the time. So here's the power add, because for this to making a red candle, it needed a lot of power to stop the bulls for making bullish candles to make a red one. So the price is coming back to that IC, and I expect the price to touch this gray zone here. So that's what I can see. If I go to the weekly now, on the weekly, you can see we are also making this bearish W here. We already touched the lower highs here, and we saw the candle went aggressively to the downside. It is still a weekly bullish candle close, but we have a nice rejection of that lower high here. So this candle can be filled in a little bit more. Maybe we can tap it one more time, and then I expect more downside momentum, or we can go straight to the downside. This can also happen. But if I look on the daily, so on the daily, we touch here our weekly zone. The sellers kicked in immediately. We have still a possibility to make here the shoulder one, the head, shoulder two. Because as you can see on the line chart, you can see it clearly. This is our shoulder one, head, shoulder two, possibly. So that's what I can see that maybe can happen, is that the price comes back, corrective nature, and then we can touch this daily zone, and then we can go to the downside to tap this daily lows here. So that's what I can see, or we go straight to the downside. This is also a possibility. So this can happen. So on the 4 hour, it's still very aggressive to the downside with 1 4 hour bullish candle close. So this can be an indication that the price can reverse back to the upside very correctively to the upside for possibly making here and head and shoulders, maybe shoulder one, head, shoulder two, or the diesel 1, 2. Oh, sorry. So you have 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth candle between these candles, we have one red candle to the downside, and then I can set my limit like this for more downside momentum. So on the DXY, we expect maybe some bullish momentum, but on the long term, I expect the price to go down for the DXY at this moment. So that's what I can see. So the first pair that I have in mind this upcoming week is NZDCAD. So NZDCAD, if I go on the weekly, what you can see on the weekly is we have a very big impulsive move, and after that, we mostly expect after an impulse, we can see normally corrective nature. So we want to see a corrective nature then. So that's normally if a sprinter has sprint for 1 mile or 1 kilometer, and yeah, after a while he is tired. So he needs to take some rest. So this is the sprinter that gets tired, and we have some corrective nature. This is the same case now. So I expect some corrective nature the upcoming weeks for NZDCAD. We have a weekly bearish candle close. This is an indication that I can look for more downside momentum. So if I go to the daily, what you can see on the daily already is we have here a nice shoulder one, head, shoulder two, and we already tapped this daily shoulder one zone. If I look to the line chart, you can see shoulder one here, this head, and possible shoulder two there. So if I look back to the 4 hour now, you can see that the price tapped this zone. So what I want to see right now is, so one candle, a closing between the 61.80 here, we need to have a close here, because if we close below and we have 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth candle, so this is our deceleration box like this. This will be our deceleration box. The price didn't close above the 61.80, so we don't take these trades, we only take it on the 61.80. So I want the price to close in this 61.80, and from there I want to take deceleration or a pattern. So that's what I want to see. after this daily zone of interest touch. So this price needs to have some more development. Then the second trade is NZDUSD. This is a little bit the same, so you need to see which pair you want to take. So NZDUSD, if I go on the weekly chart, what you can see is we touched this weekly previous highs here. As you can see, this was the bigger bearish W here. Very big bearish W. Weekly lower high got tapped and we received some bearish momentum from that zone. And also that impulsive move, and then we can see a possible corrective nature counter to the trend for possibly more upside momentum. So we can have relief now after the sprinter got tired. So yeah, we have that weekly bearish candle close here. We have a big rejection of that zone, so this candle can be filled in. This is a possibility. If I go to the daily, what you can see on the daily chart, we have here that bearish W here, that bigger bearish W, and we went to the previous high. So this can be a possible false break or just bearish W, and we received a pattern on the lower high. So yeah, we are at the highs of the daily zone of interest. We can go to the 4-hour now, and what I can see on the 4-hour is the same like NZDCAD. So we received one candle on the daily zone, so I want to see now the bearish candle close, the next candle, then the third one, and the fourth one. If the third candle closes, I can set my limit, then the diesel box around this zone, like this, then my TP would be around the daily minus 27 round number to the upside. It will be the 0.61500 for around 7% will be enough, because we are at the daily high, so I can take more less stop loss, a less high stop loss. So this is what I want to see. And the first take partials can be at the beginning of correction or here at that inverted shoulders right here for our take partials here for our TP around this zone for around 4.4%. So that's a lot. Of course, if you want to take here the bigger inverted and shoulders, that is this one, then it will be around 3.7. I think I will take this zone because this is the bigger inverted and shoulders in play than like this with the resistance in the head. So that's why I will take their partials if you have a deceleration or a pattern. Then the next one, EURAUD. So if I go to the weekly, I will refresh it, and I will go also on the monthly. On the monthly, you can see that we have here a nice supply and demand. So we have here this support, always support, and here resistance, and here again resistance. We have still that bullish M that can keep our price up, but we already touched the supply and demand zone, so we can have some short sellers coming in. So yeah, so then I will go to the weekly, and on the weekly, what we can see, we have still this bigger bullish M. So we have here this first leg, second leg, third leg, then the fourth leg coming back to the downside. I expect that the price maybe can come till the weekly lows, but the only thing we need to be careful for is this IC candle here that's sitting here at this lows where the price is closing on it, on this region. So this is what we need to be careful for. If I go on the daily, we have here kind of structural as an trend line here, all in the price up, as you can see. So it is a more risky trade to take because I want to take here the natural W. So we have here the same lows, so we expect the same highs in a bearish market. So we have here the push to the downside, high, low, high, low. So yeah, we have here the natural W, same lows, same highs. We expect them to go to the downside and the price come back till the same highs here. So that's what I can see. I will see what I will do with this trade. It's a more risky trade. It will depend on what the week will bring, about how many trades there will be given this week, how many opportunities it will bring. So, and yeah, what I will, if I have already some profits in trades, then I can maybe take this trade already. So yeah, the price just needs to come back till this daily highs, and then we will see what will happen and what I will do about that. So the next one, EURGBP, this is looking better. I don't think it will happen that the 4-hour will come back till this zone, but I will just go first to the weekly chart. So on the weekly chart, what you can see is we made this shoulder 1 here, had shoulder 2, we went to the downside here because we went to the weekly lows. So as you can see, if I go to the line chart, we had this shoulder 1 here, had possible shoulder 2, we didn't do that, we went straight to the downside till that weekly lows here. And I will go back to the candle chart where the buying pressure is at this weekly lows. And then we went to the upside. So we can still tap this weekly minus 27 if I take my Fibonacci from the low here till the high. Weekly minus 27, round number to the downside will be around 0.88900 weekly chip completion. So this didn't got tapped yet, so I expect to tap this to have a nice flip completion where the sellers can kick in from. So that's what I can see from EURGBP on the weekly. We have that weekly bearish candle close already, so I expect a pattern to the downside because we had also that weekly bullish impulse, so we can have that correction also on the daily for possibly then making here a corrective nation and for more upside momentum to the weekly minus 27. So we have that weekly bearish candle close. I can look for a daily pattern. And what I can already see is we have here our shoulder 1, head, shoulder 2. We reversed from that and then we almost stepped the daily lows here. So that's why I expect that the price will not come back till this zone again before tapping this daily lows. If we tap the daily lows, then this trade will be invalid to take because we tap the daily low beginning of correction, so it's not valid anymore then. So if I go to the 4-hour, then you will see it more clear. What I want to see is we tapped our daily zone of interest here and we made a pattern. We made our shoulder 1, this head, possible shoulder 2. The price needs to come back all the way till this 4-hour zone, or the possibility is also the price come back and then we can have here a deceleration. This is also possible, and then we can go to the downside. So that is possible. But if the price comes back to this daily reverse point where I already have an alert on, then yeah, then the trade is not valid anymore, and then we have that natural W on the daily. We have then the same lows here, same lows. Then we expect the same highs from that point, from more downside momentum after that. So that's what I can see on EURGBP right now. What can happen? So then the last trade, USDCHF. So if I go to the weekly now, on the weekly, no, on the monthly, we have here a nice buying zone, supply and demand zone. So if I look here, we have here some clear support, resistance, support, 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 resistance, and some support for possibly making the shoulder 1 here, head, shoulder 2, this monthly head and shoulders zone. So this is a possibility that the price wants to come back to this head and shoulders zone. This is possible. So yeah, we are at this monthly supply and demand zone. So there is a high chance that the buying orders are coming in from there. So if I go to the weekly chart now, on the weekly, you can see already that we have a weekly bullish candle close. We have here some kind of deceleration for around 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. And then the 5th week is also a possibility for more upside momentum. So we have a weekly bullish candle close. I can look for a daily pattern. And on the daily, what we can see is we broke this descending trend line here, descending channel here that got broken. We broke out of it, and then we can make the reversal pattern in the form of a shoulder 1 here, this head, shoulder 2 here. So that's what I can see. The daily buying orders are coming from this point here. So I expect the price to come back till this daily zone, and from there we can go to the upside to make that inverted and shoulders. And if we don't do that, yeah, then I can draw my daily zone lower to the daily lows here. It's not that far away from that point, so nothing to be scared of for me. So yeah, then we can trade the fake out if we close below this daily lows here. Then we can trade the fake out, and then we can go possibly to the upside. So that's what I can see on USDCHF. This was the last trade. So I hope you liked the video, and see you next week. Bye, everybody.